Hi, my name is Cary Tauben, and I am a fashion stylist and personality from Montreal, Quebec.
Growing up, did you always know fashion was your thing or did you accidentally fall into it?
Growing up, I always had a very eccentric style. As a kid, I had bracelets up to my arms. I did go to a private school. I used to put polos under my polos in different colors to try and add a little pop of color. Then I obviously got in trouble, so I wasn't allowed to do that. But I think that I was always interested in fashion, but didn't know that I could make a career out of it.
Wow. Am I making you feel comfortable right now?
Yeah.
Do you love it?
I love it
Okay,
so much.
perfect. And then what was your first real hustle?
My first real hustle, I was actually a bar mitzvah animator. That was my first job. And it's actually a game that I like to play when I'm on sets. I love doing an icebreaker. And normally the first one is, what was your first job? And I always like to go first because it really explains a lot about me. So pretty much if you don't know what a bar mitzvah is or a bat mitzvah, it's when a Jewish man or woman becomes a man or a woman. Jewish girl becomes a man or a woman. And so I was dancing at bar and bat mitzvahs every Saturday, Sunday night. I was making maybe $300 or $400 a night. Plus you got tips from the rich daddies. And it was really just a fun side hustle. And I loved doing it. You were doing cardio, you were dancing, you were pumping up the crowds. It was really my first hustle.
Yeah.
And then from there I went into retail and I worked for American Apparel, which was probably a very iconic time in that moment because American Apparel was the coolest. You know what I mean? We all loved American Apparel when it was around. So my second job was retail.
Okay. And wanted to say like a funny story about, working in retail or something like that?
Working in retail. Funny enough, working in retail, funny stories. I used to work at the store on St. Denis. They used to have the stock room upstairs. And it was one of those like nasty apartment buildings that someone clearly like chain smoked in there, so it like reeked, which I didn't understand how they left the clothes up there because everything stank like cigarettes. But we used to have so much fun there. My friend Kern worked there with me. We used to party. We used to hang out. We would finish work. We'd go to the village. And then funny enough is after that, I ended up getting hired by Dove to do vintage glasses for all the stores in Canada. So I would be in this apartment above Cour Montreal because he had an apartment above Cour Montreal. Remember there was a store in Cour. And I would go through vintage sunglasses and I would source the ones that would go into all the different stores. So besides for the working in the retail element, there was a kind of curating and sourcing element. And this was before I was a stylist. So it was kind of like a foreshadowing, I guess, into what I would become.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, who's Dove though? Because for some reason,
So Dove Charney is the founder and owner.
Because people probably don't know that.
Dove Charney is the founder and owner of American Apparel. He's actually from Montreal originally. There is a documentary about him and it's quite interesting. They didn't talk about Montreal as much as they could have in that documentary, but I still enjoyed it.
It was on Netflix, no?
Yes, it was.
Okay. What was your first I made it moment?
I made it. So obviously, right, I work as a stylist. I wouldn't say that there was that first moment, but I will tell you about the first job that I was like, wow, this is a lot of money. So I was actually in Hawaii with my partner. And I got a call from my agent for a Playboy body spray. You remember when there was a big thing with like Axe body spray and all these different body sprays? So I got this call about this Playboy body spray job that was happening in Toronto. I only had to style 2 people, a guy, a girl in a black suit or tuxedo and a girl in a black dress. And I was literally like in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And my partner looked at me. I told him how, I think it paid like $25,000, which was like a big deal, especially early on in your career. And he was like, go. So I left him in Hawaii. I flew to Toronto. I did the job. And that was like a moment where I was like, oh, damn, like there's some money in this business,
Let's go through a day in the life.
So I think it really depends on the job that I'm prepping for. But within my job description, there are set days where you're actually hired to be on set and do the on-set styling. But then as a stylist, you are paid for research days where you're sourcing and finding all the clothes or the accessories or the shoes for a specific job. So let's say I'm starting to prep on a Monday. I will wake up probably like 7:30, 8 o'clock, get ready. If I have time to do Pilates, I will do Pilates, but I don't always have that time. And then I'll get out on the road. I normally start with showrooms and places that I can pull from, like local Canadian designers, any sort of showrooms. I'll go to rental houses. I'll go to Simon's. I'll go do all the stores. And pretty much I will just be running around all day. I will go all around town. There's days where I'm literally at Royal Mount, then Carrefour Laval. I hit all the malls because, some of the stores, they have different things. And I'm literally trying to find as much as I can. So I think a day in the life, I'm actually in the car a lot.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind because I really like driving. So a full day for me of research is just literally running around to the malls, running around to showrooms, running around all over the place. I get home, I'm super tired, I have dinner, take a bath, go to bed. And that's kind of like a day in the life of me.
Oh, I love
a good
that.
bath, yeah.
Have you ever had a total disaster happen to you right before a campaign?
Yes. So this only happened to me one time, and this was early on in my career. I was doing a beauty shoot for Marcel Cosmetics with Karine Vanasse. She was the face at the time.
wow.
And I used to style her at that time. And so I pulled a lot of expensive designer items. I had stuff from Essence, like D-squared dresses. And I didn't only have one, I had two because I got different sizes just in case things didn't fit. I pulled all this expensive stuff from Holt Renfrew. And then finally, at the end of the day, I parked my car next to Zara because occasionally, sometimes these brands, they need a blouse, but they might not want the sleeve to be there. So I would cut the sleeves if I could. And so I go into Zara, I come out of Zara, I open my trunk. Nothing is in my trunk anymore. I literally thought I was hallucinating. So I closed the trunk. I opened it again. Nothing was in there. They broke into my car. They stole everything out of my car. I was literally in shambles. I was like freaking out. So I ended up calling my agent. I called the client. I told them what happened. They said, okay, well, we need to figure this out. I ended up calling every single one of my girlfriends that I knew, everyone. And I was like, I need to raid your closet. So I went to every one of my friends' houses. I took everything that I could from their closet and I ended up still doing the shoot. And then I was leaving to Coachella actually 2 days later. So I went to Coachella and I just let loose because it was very traumatic in that moment. Now, my insurance is up to $100,000 if I do get robbed.
Yeah.
But you know, you live and you learn, I think is a very important saying. I do not leave anything expensive in my car anymore.
Yeah. Well,
if
Montreal.
I pull something, I bring it into my car. I bring it into my car. I bring it home right away because I learned my lesson from that one time and it was very traumatic. It was very scary. Also, a lot of the brands were very, very nice with me. They gave me little discounts, but that was like the biggest and most memorable and kind of traumatic experience when it came to
Did you have to pay for that stuff?
I
that was
did,
stolen?
yeah, out of pocket, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, because my insurance at the time was only up to $25,000 and I had merchandise up to $50,000.
And how many years were you in the business for? Like, was that like a lot of obviously
4 or 5 years. I mean, I had developed relationships. It was really bad.
But still.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really insane. But
you pulled through though.
You pulled through, you know, and you figured it out.
Was it a good shoot though?
The shoot turned out great.
Maybe we'll
great.
put it at the bottom of this.
Yeah.
You'll have to send it to me.
Exactly.
Like the shoot.
If I can find it, yeah.
What's a fashion trend you secretly want gone forever?
I do not like men in really skinny jeans. I just think it looks completely crazy.
I say that too. Tolch's husband wears skinny jeans and I cannot.
You can go for a skinny, but like skin tight that it almost looks like a legging on a man is never acceptable.
Well, I saw that a lot this weekend.
I did see it a lot as well, yeah.
Like, you know, like very skinny. You can almost see their
just
like actual penis.
I don't mind that, but
oh, okay, yes.
I don't mind that
no.
maybe in a sweatpant, but I still don't like a skinny sweatpant.
No, it's too much.
I just think that skinny jeans are not something men should wear. There's so many cool
ever again. Oh, done forever.
Done forever, yeah.
Love that. And then what's a story from this industry that still makes you go, how was that real?
I won't get into it too much, but I was on a shoot in Miami with a huge production, lots of money, and the photographer would not shoot until his little chihuahua was on set. So they had to like bring in the dog from the hotel, and he refused to shoot until the dog was on set. And that whole day was like very chaotic, and it was just one of those like moments where you're like, how is this even real? Like we're all waiting around for you and you have to wait for your dog. It was kind of crazy.
Oh my God. Does working in fashion ever make you feel pressure to always look perfect? Which you do. Every time I see you, you're always perfect.
Yeah, I don't think that working in fashion makes me feel like I always need to be perfect. Obviously now with social media and creating content and stuff like that, I obviously want to look good and I want to serve a look and I want to feel as confident as I can be. But I think that I'm always, regardless of if I'm trying to serve a look, I will always be serving a look because it's just innate for me.
Yeah.
I'm somebody that just puts things together in an interesting way. I've collected a lot of interesting pieces in clothing. And I think when you got it, you got it.
When you got it, you got it.
You got it, you got it.
It's true. And then how do you stay active? No, how do you stay creative? How do you stay active? No, how do you stay creative when you're burnt out?
So, you know, it's a funny thing that I'll say is at the beginning, when you started as a stylist at the beginning of your career, you're so much more creative and expressive because you're trying to get yourself out there. Creative shoots don't obviously pay the bills.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No. If you
Okay.
would like me to dive into it a little bit more.
We love everything here.
Editorial shoots, they pay very, very low rates. Like when you work for a magazine,
Right.
you get paid like a couple $100s. Whereas when you're working for a commercial brand, especially one that has money, you get paid.
But then, so why
your
do people
full
do
rate.
the creative?
Because
it's cool.
because it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun. You might have an interesting opportunity to work with a celebrity. You can pull designer. There's just so many more interesting things, and that's what feeds you, and that's what feeds your creativity.
Okay.
So at the
makes
beginning of my career, I was working with a lot of different magazines, and I got to really creatively express myself. And don't forget, what you need to think about is that at that time we didn't have social media at the beginning of my career. So in order for me to get my work out there, I needed to be featured in magazines.
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
that's how people saw my work. We didn't have Instagram where you could just do a shoot and post it
then,
and everyone
yeah.
saw it that followed you. So that was our outlet to be seen.
Okay.
So at the beginning of my career, I was doing a lot of creative shoots and maybe not working as much commercially. Now, 16, 17 years in, I've been styling. All I do is commercial work now. And as much as I love it and I'm grateful because I have amazing clients, I'm making money and I love my job, I don't do as much creative shoots and magazine shoots. First of all, there's not as many around. And second of all, it takes time. You end up spending a lot of your own money. But I don't really have the time for it. You know, I just don't have the time for it. But when I do those creative shoots, that's what feeds me creatively. And then, you know, I'll smoke a little bit of weed and that kind of makes my mind go a little bit like, ooh, this is fun. Yeah.
Do you ever like wake up in the middle of the night and like think of like an outfit that or something and you just like write it in your notes?
I don't actually. And funny enough is I don't remember my dreams. I'm not.
Me neither.
I'm not someone that
People
remembers.
think we're weird.
I don't know. I never. I know I dream.
never.
I know I dream,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them.
I only remember it if I'm like hungover or something and I'll pass out again and
a
then
quick
wake
one.
up.
Yeah, a quick
and I'll be
one,
like,
but-
oh, that was a cool one. But then never.
But an
ever.
all-night
But
dream.
is that a weird thing? I guess.
I don't know what it means. I think it means we're
Well, you're gonna have to-
sleeping deep, I guess.
You know what? We're
Who
getting our
knows?
REM.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So what's better, Montreal fashion or Toronto?
It's funny that you're saying this right now because I was actually in Toronto for a job last week. And I went to this thing called Electric Island. My friend Ryan Burton puts it on. And my friends, the Martinez brothers, were playing. And it's kind of like their version of Picnic.
Yeah.
So it's like
Oh.
outdoor dancing in a park.
Right.
There's a few stages, great music, like good vibes. And the outfits, me and my girlfriend were looking at each other. We kept saying to each other, we were like, show me one good outfit here.
Oh, okay.
The
so
girls
Montreal,
were just
better.
trying very, very hard.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a lot of asses out. It's like, it was feeling a little like hookery.
Yeah.
No offense to Toronto.
Yeah.
I think maybe men have better style than women there, but I personally think for sure Montreal fashion is way cooler than Toronto
agree.
fashion because I don't think we try. I don't think we try as hard, and I don't think that we need to try as hard because Montreal is
just cooler.
Yeah, we're just cooler. We feel
agree.
more European. So definitely Montreal fashion for sure.
What do you think of like what are those called?
Jorts.
Well, yeah, like jorts with the windbreaker and the slick back bun and the small glasses. That's what I see all the time. What do you think of that?
I mean, I think that everyone is obsessed with Hailey Bieber.
Okay, so right, it comes from her.
It comes
Right.
from Hailey Bieber,
Yeah.
and she literally is untouchable right now.
Yeah.
Love her and everything that she's doing. But Hailey Bieber could do anything, and everyone will follow because they're obsessed with her. But like,
Okay,
you know,
forgot
when
it
you
was
think
her.
about it, though, realistically, I had this conversation. It's like Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber are kind of like filling that void of like. I know, obviously, Love Story was happening with JFK Jr.
Oh, right, everyone was into
so
that
it's
one,
like,
yeah.
like I'm saying that they were like the it couple of the '90s. Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber. Hailey
Yeah.
Bieber and Justin Bieber are kind of like that for like
Ours
this gen.
now.
Like there will be like a
documentary on them or
documentary or
whatever.
show about them in years to come.
Ah, okay.
That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah. And then what are Montreal fashion trends that need to go away?
Montreal fashion trends.
Or that have gone away, but you're happy they're not back?
I mean, it's kind of a hard question because I don't really like follow. I personally don't
but like,
follow
okay, so fine.
trends.
So if you see someone down the street, you're like, oh, I wish that was gone. You know what someone said to me the other day? Why are you wearing leggings that are like tight on the ends? Like someone said, you know, you're old when. I said that's so mean.
No.
Because they're not flared.
No.
Yeah. I was like,
No.
that's so mean.
What
and
do you
like
mean?
the sock
I mean,
in
like,
the thing is not a
literally
thing anymore.
Like a capri is having a moment right now.
Yeah, but like some
Not that
people
it's for
just can't
not that
pull
it's
it
for
off,
every
though.
not it's not for every
not
body
for
type,
everyone.
but a capri's happening right now. And again, because of Kendall Jenner and Hailey
Yeah.
Bieber, that's just why
Right.
it's happening. But I don't think that trend necessarily needs to go away because I'm actually featuring that in some of my campaigns and stuff like that because I actually think it looks cool.
Yeah.
If it's on the right body type, a trend. I mean, I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Like maybe like the curly with the bangs that are really straight. Remember when we used to do that when we were younger?
Yeah, but that's not a trend that's really happening or needs to go away.
Okay, fine.
We're gonna pass on that.
Okay, we'll pass on that one.
Okay.
Most spicy celeb story. You don't have to see the full thing, or you don't have to say the names.
I'll have a few. Yeah, I'll tell you one. So celeb story. I'm gonna tell you an on-set celeb story
Okay.
because I think that'll be interesting, and then I'm gonna tell you about like one of the best parties that I ever went to because I think that's also an interesting
everyone loves
story.
that stuff.
So I was working on a job for this drink called Appy Fizz. It's from India.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a carbonated apple juice.
Yeah.
Like it's a, it's on the same level as like a Coca-Cola or whatever in India. And Priyanka Chopra at the time was filming that show Quantico in Montreal.
Oh.
And so I was hired to style just Priyanka for this job. Actually, Priyanka and the extras as well. So I did the fitting with her. She was super nice to me and she really liked me. I made her look amazing. In that moment, though, while we were doing fittings, she was a little bit rough on the clothing, which I personally thought was disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because I was taking these items from high-end stores. So she would like take a Givenchy shoe and she would kick it to the side. And I was like, these shoes are like $1,000, you know? Like I'm like, just give them to me and I'll place them to the side. And she kept saying like, oh, Givenchy, they love us. They love us. It's okay. They love us. Like thinking maybe they were samples, but they were actually purchased.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a big budget, so it was totally fine. So in that moment, I was like, maybe you could be a little nicer to my clothes, regardless of if it's expensive or not.
Still.
In general, just be respectful to someone's time and the talent and also to the clothing. And what was really interesting during that shoot that I thought was crazy, but it also was part of the culture because it did start out in Bollywood. Before she would go on to set and film, she had an assistant with a hand mirror, and he would hold it in front of her face, and she would like fix her hair, and she would go, "Okay, I'm ready." And I was like, "Wow, this is like serious." You know what I mean? Like, and it's very Bollywood.
Yeah.
But every time she would go on, he would hold up the mirror so that she could like. It was almost like her own pep talk, which I thought was fascinating, and she killed it obviously, and it was amazing, and I thought that was very interesting. Now, moving on to another crazy story. So I looked up the date yesterday because I knew we were going to talk about this, but in 2014, Riccardo Tisci, who was the designer of Givenchy at the time, was having his 40th birthday in Ibiza. And so I ended up getting invited because I've been going to Ibiza for many years. And that was at the time that Kim and Kanye had just gotten married. And Riccardo and Kanye were very close friends. Riccardo was dressing Kim a bunch. And so I go to this party. It was like super, super private. Not a lot of people invited. Kanye performed. Pretty much, if I listed who was there, it was like Justin Bieber, Kris Jenner, Kendall Jenner. I saw Zac Efron was there, Jessica Chastain, Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, all sorts of supermodels. And so they had the party there and it was very civilized. It was like because Riccardo's family was there. And then as the party was going to a close, we were trying to figure out where we were going afterwards. And there's these two photographers named Morton Marcus who have a house in Ibiza, beautiful, beautiful place. It looks exactly at Esvedra. And we decided we were going to go there. So I was like I was friends with these photographers. I go up to them and I'm like, should we orchestrate getting all the booze into the car to bring it to the house? And he said, yeah, of course, go ask Riccardo. So I go to Riccardo, I ask him, I'm like, should I get all the booze in the car? And he's like, yeah, of course, bring it into the car. So my friend brings up her car, we open up the trunk, and then we have all the staff just loading in all the booze into the car. And so we leave there, we go back to this house, and literally we were out all night. Kate Moss is there with me. We're just like hanging out. And at one point, Kate Moss and I were literally iPod DJing and playing. I think it was at the time that like Robin Thicke, like Blurred Lines came out.
Oh my,
and so we were
times.
playing that, Kate Moss and I together, just dancing around. And then we stayed up, we were up till the morning. And then funny enough is her daughter Lila woke up and Kate goes up to see her and Lila comes out in Kate Moss's outfit from the night before. And she's like, show Ricky, show Ricky. I ended up going swimming with Kate's daughter, and I was jumping into the pool, like voguing into the air. And she was like, Lila, try it. Lila, try it. And it was just like one of those like very like memorable parties. And don't forget, we also didn't really have like, it was 2014. Like social media wasn't like, like on steroids like it is now. You know, we didn't, like there was no photos being taken. It was like very, very private
in the
and
moment.
discreet. And it was super in the moment.
Would you rather social media like now or no social media?
I think I'm just grateful that I was able to live both lives. I was able to really live and go out and be free. You know, and like if you think about when I used to go partying when I was like 17, 18 into early 20s, the way that we would get photos was from party photographers.
Or even like just from your digital camera, no?
Well, a digicam or whatever.
Wasn't around,
you know, I would get like I would have party photographers taking photos of me, and then I would check the next morning like the links to try and find my photos and put them on MySpace because this was like this was like MySpace days.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I had MySpace. Oh yes, I had MySpace.
So back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of cool things in my life, but partying with Kate Moss was very cool.
I feel like you have a fucking cool life. What parts of Montreal are the most trendy?
Most trendy. I think it really varies in areas, but I mean areas that I'm often in. I mean, the flats of Westmount, Old Montreal, and
you think Westmount's trendy?
I mean, it's chic.
Okay, chic, yeah. But I mean, like trendy, like cool, like plateau girls, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess Westmount could be. I was just saying.
Like on the flats of Westmount, why not? Why would I mean?
I like that.
I say flats of Westmount, like closer to Atwater, because that's also like the area that I live in. So it's trendy.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Sorry.
And then what else? And then you know, like I love like a Little Italy. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that area is pretty cool. Yeah.
Love that. Where do you hang out?
Where do I hang?
Yeah.
I mean,
everywhere?
My rule, especially, I kind of hang out in general. I mean, I would say I either do gay, paid, or private. That's what I've always said. If I'm paid to be there, if it's a private party, or if it's gay, I will be there. But I mean, I hang out at home more or less.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I travel quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, especially if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out elsewhere.
Right.
So yeah, where do I hang out? I mean, I like to just grab and go. I don't really spend a lot of time anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So home.
Love that. And then if you could force every Montreal girl to wear one thing tomorrow, what would it be?
Force every girl. Well, I thought about this for a guy. So if I could force every guy, it's not even about force, but and maybe this works universally. I think that the first thing that you look at that I notice on a man or even a woman is shoes, handbag, watch.
Okay.
So it's not that I would force them to wear them, but I think that having nice shoes, having a good bag, and nice jewelry is something that can elevate any outfit. Yeah. And something that is going to make you, like, it's going to be a good first impression on somebody.
But that's also for a girl too, right?
Exactly,
for
right? So for a guy, it's more like shoes and watch. And for a girl, I would say like a good handbag, a good pair of shoes, and good jewelry. You know, it's like that's something you should invest in.
So if you can
wear Zara jeans and wear a Versace top,
that's
and
what
you look like $1 million bucks. I'm not a snob like that, and I know that some people are, but I think that it's very important to mix, and it's great.
Do you ever look at someone? Well, when you go to a party, do you ever look at people and say like, "Oof, she should have done this. She should have done that."
100%.
Okay, no, funny story.
I think it in my head.
Yeah, no.
I would never say. I would never say it out loud.
No, because my sister was wearing something on Saturday, and you walk away, and she goes, "He fucking looked at my thing. He doesn't like the shirt. He doesn't like the shirt. I should just go burn the shirt now."
I mean, she looked good. I think there was something that needed to be like pulled. I think something needed to be pulled around.
Because it was kind of like weird, and she's
there was something happening there.
She goes, "It's kind of weird here, but fuck it, we were in a rush." And then all of a sudden, she's like, "I knew it. I knew it. He was looking at my fucking stomach. Like he knew that something was weird here.
Something was weird. No, I'm not crazy.
Oh my God, I'm crying." And then she goes, "Ask him about my fucking outfit."
No, literally. But it was I did like the pattern.
I
did like the pattern, but I wasn't doing that on purpose. But there was a moment where I was like, something's wrong here.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was crying.
But to be honest, and it's not a judgment. It's just, I will say,
that's your job.
Like it is my job, and I'm not judging you. And if there is a way that I can help you, I will. Yeah. I mean, talk to my agent, but it's just, it is my job, right? Like even if it's a celebrity or if it's someone on an award show or whatever, like, you know, I talked to a stylist friend of mine, this other guy named Corey, will be like, ooh, I wish you would have worn different shoes.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like anyone can make a mistake. And to be honest, I'm open for judgment as well. I'm not everyone's cup of tea and I'm totally okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that what I decide is the rule.
It is though.
No, but you know what? I think if you serve looks and you do something with conviction and you believe in it, then that's what really matters.
Do people text you like, oh, should I wear this tonight?
100%.
Is it annoying?
It's not annoying.
Okay.
No, not at all. I mean, if I have the time, if I have the time, it's not annoying. But
so you'll just say
of
like
course.
change shoes. Okay,
Exactly.
bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or be like, ooh, I wouldn't have worn. I wouldn't wear that bag with this. You know.
Okay.
Or even like I have girlfriends that are like packing for trips, and like let's say I'd be in Miami, I'll like go over and like help them pack.
Would you do that? Like
yeah.
as like okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
For sure. Why not? You know, like
when I get bigger, you'll
just
help
making
me.
clothes out of your own clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that, you know, we were so in this like, let's buy something new all the time.
Yeah, no.
And, you know,
But
and I'm guilty of it too, because I don't want to wear the same thing twice. But to be honest, there's certain things exactly like this set that I'm wearing. I love it. It was expensive. I'm going to wear it. You know what I mean? So I'll try and style it differently because there's a way to do that. And I will make the most of it.
Yeah. But I find it's hard with social media because like I'll wear something on the podcast that gets so many views, so many this, and it's like, I can't wear that again.
Yeah, no,
For
of
me,
course.
like it's just, even yesterday I had a video, me going to a bakery, this sweatshirt, everyone was obsessed with the sweatshirt. I literally, this girl goes, where do I get that? I go, they don't sell it anymore. Do you want it? Because like I literally washed it and it's waiting for her now because I'm not wearing it again. I'd probably give it away.
Right. Well,
so
that's nice.
Whatever. So one word to describe Montreal.
Eclectic, eccentric, European. Those are words, not one, but
well, whatever.
I would say eccentric and eclectic.
Love
I mean,
that.
Montreal in the summer is, you know,
the best.
Montreal in the summer is the best. It's unbeatable, and I will be going to Europe.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
When are you leaving?
I'm like, I'll see you in
soon?
Europe.
Yeah, exactly. A trend you regret wearing.
I don't think that I regret any of the trends that I did wear.
Yeah.
Funny enough is I think there was a moment where I was like, why the hell did we wear Uggs? But I love Uggs now.
Well, no, I am obsessed with Uggs.
As you're looking at my Uggs.
that's why
As
I'm like,
she's looking at my Uggs to the side. But I think, you know, there was a moment, maybe like salt stained Uggs.
Yeah, those.
That was like nasty. But I mean, we live in Quebec, you know, and we live in Montreal. So it's just, it is the way it is. But there was a moment where I didn't really get it as much. And then I actually had Uggs like before a lot of people had Uggs here because they only sold them in the States. And my mother got me a pair in Vermont. I remember they weren't the chestnut ones. They were like a light beige. I actually still have them. And they were just so comfortable. But yeah, there was a moment where like I didn't get the Ugg trend, but I was still wearing them. And now I love them. Like I just find them so
they're
comfy.
just like, and also they do like they don't elevate a look, but it's just like, you know,
they're so. I love them with that with a jean short.
And then now
so
they sell
cute.
the friggin' slippers for $400.
Exactly,
like insane.
yeah.
A coffee or cocktail?
Neither.
Oh,
So I'm actually.
You don't drink?
So I do drink like occasionally, gently. I'm not a big drinker because, and I tell the story to everyone. I was in Miami maybe like 10 or 12 years ago. I was at the Audition. My friend was playing. I was drinking. And this guy sat down next to me.
Yeah.
And I turned to him and I was like wasted. And I went, "You really look like David Beckham." And then he slowly turned away and walked away. And then I sobered up later and everyone told me it was David Beckham. And my whole thing is that if I couldn't make a good impression on the most important person in the room, then I would hate myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I decided then and there, I was like, let's not let this happen again.
Yeah.
And now, like, you know, like maybe like on my birthday when I'm with friends, like I'll get wasted
Safe
because
space.
I know a safe space where I like, you know, where I'm like with like people that like close friends. But I like to be very alert no matter what situation I'm in. I don't love the taste of alcohol, but I like to just really be honed in. And then coffee, I think I drank it when I was in my early 20s because I would be like, if I was in like Europe or something, it was just so chic.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel jittery. I don't like the taste. And it's something that I don't need. I don't need coffee.
So you're matcha.
So I would say neither, but matcha and a chai, I like, yeah.
Okay. And then most stylish city you've ever been to?
I know. I was trying to think about this when I saw this question. Stylish city. I think it really depends on like what we're looking for, but most stylish city. I mean,
Miami.
You know what? I'm actually going to say this, which is like, I mean, I think it was more just because it was culture shock. But I went to Japan for my first time
I want to go so bad.
3 years ago for my birthday. And I was very like in awe because the area I was staying in, which is Ginza, is where all the flagship stores were. And going into those stores and walking around that area, everyone was like, I saw people in like full head to toe Bottega looks, like from the runway.
Yeah.
And especially the men. And I just was like, I was like, wow, this is so chic. So I would say Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And did
or
you try
Tokyo.
a lot of the food there too?
I did. Yeah. My favorite meals were like the more like low key ghetto, not
like
ghetto
hidden
ones,
gems,
but
you know?
the more like low
Yeah.
key ones, like a shabu shabu or like a fish market
Okay.
thing. Like any of the fancy ones, I was like, it was good, but
Yeah.
like I'd rather go
no.
low key. I'm, you know, it's funny.
You're low key.
I look like I can be this bougie, this like super bougie, which I can be, and we all can be. But like deep down, I'm just like more chill, and
Okay.
I like something like classic and comfortable.
And then one thing people get wrong about you.
I probably think that maybe people think that I'm a like this like diva,
Yeah.
which I can be,
Yeah.
but not actually. I think that maybe people think that I'm like some like diva or like a little bitch, but I'm just this like really happy, nice, grateful person that comes from a good family with good values, and I love what I do, and I love to bring people joy. So I think that that's probably a misconception. And I mean, early on when I used to express myself when I was like in my early 20s, I had hair down to here. I was very feminine. I was wearing high heels. Like then it was like, I think people were really scared of me, but I was still always the same person, you know?
Okay, so hidden gem. Restaurant or anything in Montreal.
Hidden gem, I'm going to say. I think that people don't talk about Oma enough. I don't know if you know it.
It's true. No one said that one.
So Oma, right? It used to be on Fairmount. No, Bernard.
Bernard.
So Oma used to be on Bernard. She sold that one. It's now closed. She sold it, I think, even with her recipes. And then she opened up near Quartier du Spectacle on Ontario. And I think that people don't talk about it enough.
And it's called Oma?
Oma.
Okay, no, but she opened it under the same name.
Opened it under the same name.
Okay.
It's she's I don't know if she sold the space.
Right.
I don't remember exactly.
Okay,
but I used to go there all the time. I was
Yeah.
friends with her daughter. And she's very sweet. She's not there every single day, but whenever she sees that she sees me on the camera, she always sends me something.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
And I'm very grateful for that because I love it. So I think Oma is a hidden gem that not everyone knows about, and that more people need to be talking about it because the food and the flavors is just so good. And I'm weird about like meats and chickens and stuff like that. So they kill it all the time.
What's some advice that you would give people who want to be in the industry?
Learn the industry and assist a stylist or assist a photographer, depending on what you want to do.
Okay.
Because you need to actually understand how our specific industry in Canada works, because that's how I got into it. I started assisting a stylist. I did that for a full year. And I was like, oh, wow, there's a way to make money in this. And this stylist is working all the time. So it's all about who you know as well. It's about developing contacts. Obviously, it's about your talent. But I think it's really about assisting and learning your craft and learning about the industry is the number one advice. You know, social media is a great tool for getting your creative work out there, reaching out to people. But, you know, I always say this, and it's like, you always have to ask. And the worst they could say is no, or they don't respond. You know, always be curious and ask, you know, because you might be what that person is looking for. I mean, for me, when it comes to assistants, no one really has a car here.
In Montreal?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of the people that are looking to become assistants, they don't have a car.
Need one, obviously.
And you really do. Like I have some assistants that don't, and they're capable and they show up on time and it's fine. But if I need someone to like run out and pick something up at the mall for me or do returns for me, like you need to have a car.
Yeah, obviously. You're not going to take them on the subway.
So I personally like an assistant with a car, but it's definitely hard to find. So if anyone here is watching, you just let me know.
Do you need an assistant?
I need one. My assistant of many years, Sarah, just gave birth. So she's on mat leave. But she was with me for a while.
Okay. And do they travel with you?
Sometimes. She's a Virgo, so she's very, very organized.
I was going to be like, that's freaking hilarious.
She's a Virgo, so she's very, very organized. Sometimes you get to travel with me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to book local assistants, but there is opportunity to travel when there is budget.
Okay. So let's look this over. Or like maybe like Buonanotte. Did you go there?
I did, yeah. But yeah, I was very Time Supper Club too.
I never went there. Actually, I
was
went there
big
once,
time
and
Time Supper Club.
someone fell
I
off.
also used to have a night at the W when I was 16 years old called Hungry Eyes.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You hosted a night?
I hosted a night when I was like 16, 17, underage at the W Montreal, because those were like formative years of when we used to go out. And we used to go there like, there's also parking. That was the gay club.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a good one?
What?
You always went there?
So when I was in CJEP.
Yeah.
Parking was a club that was on Amherst, now called Atatakin, which I will not call it that. It's called Amherst. And so there was a gay club called Parking, and you used to walk through this parking lot, and then you would go down these stairs. Famous DJs from around the world wanted to play there, and Thursday nights were like the night at Parking. Yeah. So regardless of what you had to do on a Friday, you were at Parking. We would go out till 3, 4 in the morning. We would go to school. People would go to work. It was like the funnest club. So there was this like big open space, and then there was more of like a kind of more like R&B room.
Yeah. And
people were obsessed with it. And then obviously it got bought by like a condo, and then it closed. But it was like a really sad time for the gays. Yeah. But it was iconic.
Okay. So thank you so much
let's do another one. What else?
Okay. So
Space FB.
Were you ever into Space FB Sophie shorts?
So not me personally, and I think that I really wanted to wear Space FB, but I didn't at the time. But all my girlfriends were obsessed with it, and I had a lot of friends that actually worked there. I actually know the boys that started it, and I think what they did was super, super ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like pre all of these mega big stores.
Well,
like if it was around during social media age, like it would be like they would still be killing it right now. You know,
well, they're coming back, eh?
Space FB?
Sophie shorts?
Are they from Space FB?
No, obviously not. But just like those shorts, whatever. Like, do you ever heard of this company called Park? Parke. It's like a girl, Chelsea Parker. What's her name?
Does she do denim?
Yeah. She started with denim.
Okay, yeah.
Like people really, they either love her, really don't like her. Okay. And she is doing Sophie shorts.
Yeah.
And like everyone, and obviously I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. But no one else gets it because they're all like 16 buying her stuff. Course. And I'm like, oh wow, this is bringing me back.
Yeah.
No, I think that's all. What else do you want to say? You want to say like, you know.
No, I think we're good.
That's all.